Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett. I got her a nut. I did a pretty good job cracking it, but not all the way, so hopefully that keeps her a little busy. We are back to normal. Here you go, baby. It's behind you now. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I'll slide it behind her and she doesn't see it. Oh, we're back to normal. My son has his dogs back. They absolutely love little Emma. My wife was actually burping Emma last night, and one of his dogs started barking at her, like protecting Emma. So that was awesome. And my favorite football team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they did really good in their preseason game. They never hardly played any of their starters, and they still um, were able to be pretty dominant all over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So yesterday I started working on this piece up here, and this whole Angular material and all that stuff worked just really great, like the best I've ever um, experienced, or as good or better than any other Angular material experience I ever had. Everything just worked the way you expect it. I was thinking about it, and I think I need a about the site. Like, we want to know what is about the site, and then how to use, and then what could go wrong. I think we need another, like, what could go wrong section. Um, so I know it's weird because for me, what's really strange is that when you, is it this one right here? Yeah. Because whenever I've worked on websites and uploaded websites and stuff and then looked at like I never ever go to the about page. Never. I go to a website, I just start clicking around trying stuff. Just don't do it. But anytime I've ever looked at the actual numbers, the about pages are by far the most visited. Like, I am not normal, I'm abnormal. Most people like that. So um, I'm going to come over here, and I feel weird too about this because I would never, ever in a million years encourage an organization to build a tool that they plan to open up to the uh, masses um, in this API. The API is definitely not ready for prime time, in my personal opinion. But I do think as a tool, especially an internal tool, it actually is a very great on ramp to a lot of things that a company may decide or may not decide to do. Um, but about the site, and then we want to add an about the. So this is going to add a little bit of time, but I think it's fine. There's absolutely no hurry, I don't think. And then how to use, and let's see what could. I don't know if this is wrong. Um, I don't know if this is a kind of a. I was wondering if it would actually come up with that still open. Yeah, I think that looks nice. It will add a little bit of more time, because now, okay, so about the site. Like, what is the origin of the site? Why did we build this site? About me. Like, why should you listen? Why should you use this site? Why should you care? The development journey is on YouTube, and I believe that one's done. Yeah, so now you click on there, and it will take you to this playlist and all of that. And so, um, and then how to use. It's just going to be like, okay, this is what you're looking for on here. I think here the description does pretty good, but I don't see. It would be weird to try to figure out discrete without some instruction, and continuous without some instruction. And it probably would make sense to also show it in Edge, and sort of talk about what the differences are. But that how to use should be, I absolutely no long, ideally around 3 minutes, no longer than 5 minutes, period. And then what could go wrong, I think, is just like, these are the things that could, like probably another pop-up like the about and web seller just listed out like things that I could imagine going wrong. Like I do not think this would have worked when I worked at DLA on the DLA computer. Um, Now, none of my websites, you couldn't go to any of my websites from DLA. Like they were all blocked. Like they have a very strict um, thing. But then also, but I could get to GitHub. So I would have been able to um, set this up to run a GitHub, but I bet you it wouldn't work because I bet you the cloud, the cloud endpoints um, would be blocked. You wouldn't be able to, like DLA would not want any voice going to Microsoft or going to um, Google. But anyways, so about the site. So what I want to do, what we had decided yet in yesterday's video, is I was going to make another sort of reference template variable scheme. I don't know what you would call. So like this here, hamburger menu is our reference template variable technically, and this, but this whole thing altogether is sort of, I don't think there's a word for it, for the whole word. But anyway, so that was in yesterday's ChatGPT, and so this is why I have an account. I don't pay. I don't have a pay account, but this is why I have an account, is so that I can have this history to go back to. So yeah, so I want to make a dialogue, and I want a dialogue template. So let's just kind of go with the basics. So here they say it needs to be an NG template. I wonder if it does need to be an NG template. I'm curious about that. Does it have to be in an NG template, or can it be just a div? It has to be, you're not using a separate code. Here's why. Either a component class or a template reference. Okay. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the people who invented, who implemented, who developed this solution, this component solution, only support either NG templates. So either a component class or a template ref from an NG template that can stamp into Dialog's overlay. So I don't know, a plain div does not have a template ref. It's already a live DOM element. Material dialogues aren't built to pick up an existing DOM node and move it into the overlay. They create a content from scratch at runtime. So that is interesting. So that is the first time I've ever heard that. And really, I guess maybe I've heard it in the past, but I didn't really understand it. But basically, if you put a div, it sounds like you end up with, like, the Angular will create a sort of a div in the browser. But apparently, since it's already live, the component can't use it. I think the word they use is stamp into Dialog's overlay. You know, whatever this stamp into means. You apparently can't stamp a live DOM element in there. So ng div, ng template. And I have gone to places, let's say, where about this website. Um, I have worked in places where we where they had hundreds of these NG templates in one template. That gets very difficult to manage, but it is technically feasible. About about this website, and then we want to make it like a hashtag, and yeah, just like the name of it. So about website, and we'll just leave it like this and see. I don't think we need any of these, but we'll we'll do it. We'll do it. And then we will also want another one about author. And then I guess we want one that's going to be for our how to use. And then what could go wrong. I won't be able to really tell the difference if we don't change the text. Author, how to use, and this one is called what could go wrong. I think there's just so much that can go wrong. What could go wrong? Now, hamburger menu does not exist on type. So I feel like I didn't have that problem a second ago before I added all these template variables. Oh, you know what? I think okay, it's Control Z. It looks like I overwrote something. So now I'm just going to Control Z back. I copied all of those so I can paste them back in. But to me, it looks like I accidentally, yeah, got rid of that. I've probably done that 1,000 times. So, okay, so now it's rendering. I don't think any of it's working though, right? Because yeah, we didn't set that up. So now this we want to pull in. I think the first thing to do would be to pull in the, wow, so we need the view child template ref, need all kinds of stuff. So we need this mat dialog. That has to happen. I kind of want it with the rest of the mat items. Okay, and then we're going to pull this on in here. I just don't even know what I think of like not having a module where you just have all the stuff in and you just import it. Like I could imagine abstract reasons why you really want to have modules, and I will say that I benefited dramatically as a new employee. Okay, it doesn't look like we import that. Um, as a new employee, I have gone in and it's really helped me to be able to look at the way the modules are laid out. It gives you some insight into how the developers think, the architects think. Just it gives you a lot of benefits, but it was also really easy to kind of create really difficult to visualize problems. So it looks like we have to use this view child and template ref, and both I believe those come from Angular core. So we've gotten our core has gotten pretty big. We're bringing in a bunch of stuff from the core, so I'm going to put them on their own lines so it just doesn't get too wide. And this is like another one of those things that, like, if you once you get to like more than one, if you put them on separate lines, your number of very difficult to fix get conflicts goes way down, because that, like, if you bring in 100 things from core and then you want to add something and somebody else wants to add something, it's all on one line, you're guaranteed to have a conflict. And then it can get really bizarre if you're both bringing in the same thing but in two different places and stuff like that. So I suggest, if it's more than one thing, to put it on two lines. Like, see how I have these two things is like, but once you get to like three, you got to put them on their own lines. In my personal opinion. I love you too. I'm glad to have you back in here. Okay, so what did I want? I wanted view child and template ref. Oh, I already have view child. So let's get template ref. All right, and then to use it, we need this. This is a decorator. Kind of seems like the Angular team is getting away from decorators. Let's see. See, this is sort of the opposite, the alternate to a decorator, and that's like a function that you tell. These two things kind of do a similar type of thing, but it seems like they're moving in the direction of having a function that you pass and get that. But anyways, we are going to copy this decorator. So we're already doing one for our tabs. But ours is not dialog template. Our first one, we have like 3 of them. And our first one is about website. So I believe we give it this. This is a name of template reference variable. So it's basically a name that it creates for us. And then here's where we're like, okay, I would like you to make that object, this reference, available within, bring it into the scope of this component. I'm just going to rename this about website template. So we named it about website template. And in there, since it was in the template and it was next to template, there was really no reason to add the word template. But over here, you don't really know if it's a template or not. So it's nice to have that in the name. And this exclamation mark is your way of telling TypeScript, yes, I did not, it's not in the constructor and it's not in here. It's not in the constructor, but it's going to be there. Don't worry about it. I got you. So let's hit save and just make sure everything works. It kind of looks like, I haven't done a deep dive, but it kind of looks like, it looks like we need to bring this in. And see, we have this. This is one way of doing it, that's how we did the location service. But the other way of doing it is, that's as of, I believe, Angular 17. Not 100% sure on that, but I believe it's Angular 17. They brought in another way of doing it, and that's with this inject. So I believe I can do the exact same thing. I can just say dialog, and then, where are you? Oh, so I'm doing this here, dialog, and then it is a dialog. It's a mat dialog object. So this is a function, I believe, or an object that has all the behaviors that are needed to launch dialog boxes. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that you only need one of them. You don't need like this just has all the brains. This is what this is what defines what we want to. And so when we launch it, we can use this to launch any template or any component into the dialog box. So and so see they gave us a function that tell, takes an open and then we tell it what template to use. So we're going to create a new function. There's a couple of different ways to do this. I think if I had to write unit tests for this, I would probably have a different, I would probably have one function that takes a variable, and then based on the variable, it would launch the template. But maybe not. Maybe I would actually have one for each. I don't know. This one I think would be kind of tricky um, to kind of unit test. I think I'm not sure though. So the name of this one is. So I think I'm going to go with the idea of opening each one in their own function. I can't really say in words exactly why, but I just feel like that's the best way to do that. Website dialog, and then this dot. Our template. And so now in here, well, okay, make sure, I think we have all of these, but we're leaving the part out. They left the part out in the temp. Okay, so over here. So here we bind to the click handler of the button, and then we call our function, which is actually open website dialog. And that would be right here. So cross your fingers that this works. Again, this is probably another example of a good place to sort of go multi-line, because you know, like tweaking the buttons, stuff like that. Open about. Tweaking things like that's where you just get a lot of overlap between different developers and stuff, and you can really lower the number of conflicts. Open website dialog. Oh, wrong file. Ooh, down here. Open website dialog. All right. Now we open that up. All right, so that is working. Obviously, it's hideous, but let's go ahead and do the other two. Let's do this one. See, this is where it would be nice to kind of like just have all the logic in the open. Okay, so I don't like that name. I think this should be about, or as they would say in Minnesota or in Canada, a boot. Okay. So now we want to add our other two, and that would be about developer, or are there three? About how to use and about what could go wrong. So let's just go ahead and wire those up, or just use the same template reference right now just to make sure that just that the wiring works, and then we'll fix the other pieces. So we got about developer. And then this is about, and then it's just how to use. So now, I guess the first thing to do would be to sort of just make sure that, let's just copy from here to here. Like when you're doing things in batches like this, it can get weird. Okay, so it's the button. Okay, so let's go ahead and just select from here to here. And then we're going to select from here to here. This is always so easy to just make silly mistakes. And just sort of just make sure everything works. Okay. Okay, that didn't do anything. How to use, what could go wrong? Oh, about the developer. So from here to here. Save. This is such a, like in an actual real environment, from a coder perspective, this is probably one of the easiest things, one of the more easier things to do. But from a, to actually get it through is just absolutely, can just take forever. Because this is the stuff that like people care about. All right. So now these are all wired up properly, but we don't want to go to about website. We want to go to about developer. Is that what I named it? Yeah, it looks like it. And I don't, this needs to become about developer, not author. Developer. Right. About the website is good. Check about. Okay, so about the developer, I think this is right. And then I think this was how to use. And this one is could go wrong. At this point, it is very easy to like kind of just get it working and then not worry about like keeping things consistent and stuff like that, you know, just because you want to get it working. You're like, okay, I'll go back around and make things consistent in the future. And I think if you do unit tests and stuff like that, there's a good chance that you will, in fact, go back and actually clean it up. But if you don't do unit tests, you probably won't. So it's a good idea to just get that working. And then development journey. Okay, so our whole menu works. And then we want to come over here and basically we want to start modifying, we want to start bringing in the actual correct template. This is just how I do it. I would imagine there's a million ways to do it. I don't, you know, I don't normally do things sort of in batches like this, but this is just like sort of the exact, okay, that's wrong. I think it was developer. And then this one is going to be and this is like sort of the kind of thing that you do and you don't remember, right? Because you're not rediscovering it every time. You're just sort of copy and pasting. So basically, I just want to paste this about developer template. Come in here. Oop, about developer. And so the next one is how to use. See if we can copy this. I think it was like how to use website. I think it's how to website template. Come down here. Who knows if that's right or wrong? But I found that it's good to sort of try to exercise those sorts of remembering things. So that's really helpful. Okay, so that was wrong. So I'm guessing that this is not the right name. That would be my first guess. So let me just go over here. Okay, so there was no website in that. It's just how to use. And then let's get rid of this. Since we're not going to have a website up there, let's get rid of that there. And then just try to stay as consistent as possible. Obviously, you're going to miss some here and there. How to use this website. And then our last one is what could go wrong. And I just didn't even, let's just see if, so I'm guessing I stopped doing the adding websites. So I'm going to say what could go wrong. And then that's going to be the name of our function, of our variable. And let's come down here. And last but not least, put that there. And let her reload. What could go wrong? Looks good. How to use this website? Looks good. About the developer? That's good. About the website? That's good. Development journey. So that's pretty good for this video. Next Saturday, I guess we'll just start like seeing where it takes us. But you know, the first thing will be to just try to get this looking nice, you know, fleshed out with content, and we'll go from there. And then, you know, once that's done, we got this one, and this one. Once all 4 of those are done, then I think there'll be little videos associated with this, and that'll go into the assets directory. I don't even know if it's called assets anymore. I think that might have changed as of like Angular 15 or something. Yeah, I think it's in the public folder now. So that'll go in the public folder, 2 videos, one for how to use, one for what could go wrong. And then this project is done. It might take 1 session each, maybe. Worst case scenario. So 2 more weeks before this thing is completely done. And then I guess there'll be a video on distributing, you know, do a final commit, do a video on distributing. I'll probably push it to like one of my DreamHost websites, and then I'll also see if I can figure out how to get it to run in like the GitHub, how GitHub lets you set up static websites. And then maybe go down and go back to the original. And actually from here I should link to the GitHub website for Angular voice, or for the voice web API. Let's see, web API, GitHub. That's interesting. Oh, okay, voice. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. Come in here, put a link to this, and then let's see. Oh, wait. This repository is archived and moved into the NDM web docs. DOM examples retired under the web speech folder. I wonder what that means. Yeah, see, the last change was 3 years ago. But here, there was a change 3 days ago. But it looks like this is different. It looks like this is very, very different. Is it? Kind of looks like this is a much larger thing. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll just put a link to that, and I don't know. I don't know what to do from here because media, and maybe this is how I worked originally. Web dictaphone. So yeah, this seems to be something different. Media recorder API landing page. I don't even know. So it does kind of look like it's the same thing, right? Because actually, that's really cool that it's actually showing me this. It's crazy that this looks different. Hello, how are you? So yeah, I don't know. And then I guess you can record from here, and then let's see. Hello, how are you? What's up? Stop. Enter a name for your clip. Test. I'm wondering if it puts it in my downloads folder or what is it doing? What did it do? Oh, it looks like it gave me this.
Hello, how are you? What's up?
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I could actually use this with my API analyzer. So let's try that. Continuous.
Hello, how are you? What's up?
So that didn't work. I don't really know why. Because before I was able to do that, let's try it with discrete.
Hello, how are you? What's up?
That's a bummer. Let's try this again.
Hello, how are you? What's up?
That was wild because I felt like I was able to go to Google. Let's try that. Like there was like a Google sort of this thing here.
Hello. Привет. Привет.
That's crazy because I used to be able to actually record or like get it to play, um, record it, right? But now it's not. That's kind of a bummer because I actually really liked that. That was sort of one of the things that Say Hello was dependent on was that you could push a button and hear. And now it does not seem to be working. anymore.
Привет. Привет.
That's wild. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer because, yeah, that was sort of part of the whole idea was that I was going to record. I mean, I was going to, like kind of come and record things saying hello and let people speak and say hello. And then this used to work that way. There was actually a time where I could go to a website and hit, and then, yeah, go in there and then hit the button, and this would hear, and this would say that it is, but that seems to have changed. Um, let's see.
Привет.
Привет. Let's see if I can come in here. Let's come in here and turn this to Russian. Close this. Привет. Let's see. And that looks like that's right. And it gave me a 93%. I thought I might have said something else, but let's see. So that's the easier way to say it. See, can you type in another, like, because I know there was a more, this is like the informal hello, but there is a more formal hello. So, what is the formal word for hello in Russian? I know the formal one is much more difficult to pronounce. But yeah, so this really does damage the whole concept of say hello. Because I don't know, like it would be interesting to see if I had a video in here. Like, and I will have that situation, right, where, well, yeah, if the video was embedded, I wonder if it would work. Let's see, question mark. You ready? You ready? You ready over here? Let's see, formal. I think it's it. No, this is. Oh, does this let you? No. What? Let's see. Different ways to greet someone in Russian. Okay, here we go. Go. More formal greeting. Привет. What is this for something a little bit more affectionate? And then, yeah, this is hard to say. This is informal Russian, okay, hello in shortened version. And then pretty simple, close friends. So there's a ton of them, but I think this is the formal Russian way. And it's hard to say. I have found it to be very, very hard to say. Pronunciation. It's kind of a bummer. I wonder why I can't get to that same page that I was just on, where, it just had the little, let's see, can I paste this in here? No. Wait, why is this? So this is to play it. I guess this is to translate by voice. This is. Let's do this. See if this will. Because I don't even know like how you get to this page. Like this, I'm sure there's a page that's just this. Okay, word pronunciation tool. See if there's like a tool I can go to. Yeah, that's no fun. Google Play. Pronunciation. Okay, so this is like dictionary.com. Let's come over here. Oh my gosh. Just cannot believe. Like whatever that tool is. Word pronunciation. Google pronounce words audio. How to pronounce. What is this? How to pronounce. I don't know. That's this, right? Oh my gosh. How lame is that? Okay, this is back to the how to pronounce thing. Russian. And here. Oh my gosh, what is the deal here? It is just so crazy how just unusable the web is. It's because like it's everyone's just trying to make a buck. I mean, no one just like there's plenty of people just making stuff just to make it. Just it just feels right. Okay, how do you pronounce? And then this. And so it gives us a YouTube, which is absolutely not what I want. And another YouTube, which is absolutely not what I want. Another YouTube. I wonder if another browser, like let's try Bing.
Здравствуйте.
Oh my God, it's so hard to pronounce. So Bing, yeah, is for this specific thing was a million times better than Google.
Здравствуйте.
Disastrita. And I can't do it here. We used to be able to do this.
Здравствуйте.
And it would hear it. Oh wait, I think it did work.
Здравствуйте.
So that time it didn't work. Well, it's weird it worked, but it didn't. But like it didn't get done until I said something else.
Здравствуйте.
Oh, I need to change this to Russian.
Здравствуйте.
Okay, so now it's working again. And I don't know if I was doing something wrong or if it's, yeah, I have no idea why it's being different now. But I think that's exactly right. That looks exactly right to me. So that is kind of how I plan to use this tool. It's like record this. Izostrisa. 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 See, like it, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Здравствуйте.
See.
Здравствуйте.
Is, Izdravstvica. Let's see if Google. So yeah, I can't do it. Right? Is Vastrista. Is Zastrista. Is Zastrista. Yeah, who the hell knows? Who knows what I just said? Okay, let's go ahead and close that down. Um, pronounce pronounce roughly like stress on the zidra, zidrav, Dizdra. Oh, so that's like the V is Seth. Zidraf. At the end is quick and light. This does, okay. If you say it naturally, it flows together like Zidra, Savoy, kind of like Zidra, Stavoy, Ta. Yeah, that is really hard. If that is really hard. Ziba, Zidra, Svoy, Tai. But that is not how she's saying it at all.
Здравствуйте.
Zidrastis. Zidra. Zidra. See, I don't hear a stoy or svoy or anything like that. So.
Здравствуйте.
Zidrastvista. Zirastista. Zivastrista. The last 300 in Russian. Okay. What does this mean? Does this mean anything? In Russian, but it looks incomplete. Genitive case. Austrian, the beginning of Austrian. So. Okay. It's one of the trickiest words for English to speak. Even Russians sometimes shorten it in casual speak because it's a mouthful. Why it's tricky? That English almost never starts in the ZD cluster. For consonants, 4 consonants in a row, ends with soft. That's quick and light. Like draw, but with the Z vowel. Zidraw. ST. Okay, fooey. Zidra, fooey. T. Ta. Ta. Ziva, fooey. Ta. Ziva, fooey, ta. Ziva, fooey, ta. Ziva, fooey, ta. Hello. So it's not working at all. Weird. Ziva, fooey, ta. 20. Apparently it thinks I said the word 20. And it is Russian. All right. So anyways, yeah. Next week we'll finish up these templates here, and then just and then make a distribution, and then push it out, and then push it um, to um, uh, what is it called, GitHub, and try to get it to where it's like published to like a GitHub endpoint, and then yeah, call her quits. We're done, and try to build the actual working applications. Anyways, that's it. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.